When I was a kid, I had a great aunt who had a little studio in the back of her farmhouse in Pennsylvania, and I'll never forget opening the door and smelling the oil paint. And she painted in a primitive way, kind of Grandma Moses. And then my grandmother, whom I never knew, painted. That's what ladies did. But for me, that told me that painting isn't something precious. It's something that we can all do. The easier way for me to work is to begin with a photograph just as a reference point. Often I'll even look at it in black and white so that I'm not wedded to the colors that are actually in the photograph. What I found was that I began by painting landscapes, and then I realized that what made them dynamic were the people enjoying being outdoors, experiencing it. In Surf's Up, I was so lucky because I was sitting with my chair in the water at the ocean, just kind of snagging photos occasionally. I happened to see these two young men with their boards just leaping for joy because the surf was up. And I snapped it, and I knew right then that that would be an image I would work from. I have a vivid palette. That's the one thing that's in common, is that I am drawn to bright colors and trying to show the direction of light, and sometimes having color fill in for values is something that I do like to play with, and I think it lends kind of a more colorful aspect to the work. In Noontime Run, which is in Curtis Park, the sun was above and maybe a little bit before noon, and the way it's striking the trees from one side, I really wanted to capture that, plus the light on her arm, and using yellow sometimes for light as opposed to white, I think is something that really can make things pop. My painting, rather than trying to be a straight-on representation, is to evoke the feeling of the place, and how you do that, especially when there's water involved, which water is one of my favorite themes, capturing the reflection and just the softness with the brush stroke, or trying to capture that reflection is something that I do work on. I think people can still tell when a painting is by me, but I'm not repeating myself, which is important to me, to bring a freshness to my work and to keep it different and keep growing as an artist. That's really important to me.